Joby Aviation and the second quarter 2026 earnings call evening. The clock is ticking. Why is the clock ticking? Well, we will find out. Hey up everyone. Hey up everyone, welcome to Martyn, Lucas, Investor and Vaz. Do you know what time it is? It's time to start talking eVTOLs, and today I am not alone. Today I've got Oliver Walker-Jones, the chief communications guy from Joby. Shall I call him a guy? He really is like an executive, isn't he? That is my friend Oliver. After this very earnings call, we will bring you world exclusive premiere of me talking to Oliver about Joby, about the things we will hear on tonight's call, and we will get more clarification and more elaboration on what's going on. Hey up everyone again, thank you very much for joining me. We just literally have the closing bell. Do I have a closing bell? Bear with me. Shall we ring a closing... Whoa, 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 whoa. Shall we ring a closing bell? Do we have a closing bell? Yes, we have a closing bell. Joby closing at $7.80. You can see the price here. I will make it bigger. I promise I will make it bigger very, very shortly. That is the closing bell. Let's quickly have a look at the stocks. In the meantime, if you want to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new to this sector, definitely join me, because we are bringing you updates on this sector daily. Not only that, we are bringing you exclusive behind the scenes content as well. I can hear myself coming through somewhere. Somehow. Okay, that's good. I could hear the bell again. Doesn't matter. Never mind. So let's have a quick look at the charts. What's going on? Joby Aviation closing at $7.80. What is my expectation for tonight? Well, have a look. Yesterday we had a nice little pump. Topping at $8.10. $8.10 just for it to sell off another 30 cents. It's not a massive move. It's only a minor move. It's only 2-3%. It's just a slight correction, as we always have before the earnings call on the earnings day. And also the whole eVTOL sector was down, apart from one exception. The exception is Horizon Aircraft, but we'll get to that very shortly. So, Joby Aviation, what am I expecting tonight? Well, the numbers will be out very, very shortly. We have few minutes for the numbers to come out. What is my expectation? My expectation is a beat. Not a massive beat in terms of earnings per share, but my expectation is solid business update. My expectation is progress on the certification front. My expectation is some certain or more certain timeline on the actual deployment of the eVTOL sector, or in the eVTOL sector. And my expectation is very strong balance sheet. This is what will be moving the stock tonight. And not only Joby, it will be moving Archer Aviation as well. Archer's earnings is next Monday, and I wouldn't be surprised if Archer bring some breakthrough progress, some breakthrough update on the earnings day after the weekend. We have Vertical Aerospace that can piggyback, I hate that word in terms of stocks, but that can ride that little push today. I am expecting with Joby, if we have good solid delivery, we are a few minutes away from the numbers to come out. If we have a good solid delivery, good solid update, I can expect 5 to 10% swing. If we have a breakthrough piece of news, we can see nice rally all the way, continuing all the way to tomorrow. What can... Oh, there we go. We have a massive... Oh, we have a massive dip. Now we are... Joby is doing... Where is it? After hours. Joby is pulling long red candle. We are 2% down. Only 2%. Wow, that looks more serious. There we go. No, that's not right. Hang on, I'm reading it wrong. Bear with me, please. Let's measure it. I can't see it. Right, what are we doing? That is 3%, just over 3% drop. Right, let's see if we have the numbers out. We still have Oliver talking in the background. I will bring you this exclusive interview, world premiere, exclusively only for me and you as well, for Martyn Lucas Investor. Thank you very much for joining me. I can see the main audience is in. You are watching Joby Aviation and their earnings call. The earnings call night starting just now. The numbers apparently are out because we had this dip. We are about 3% down, just over 3% down, all the way to 759. It's not over. We can have some good Q&A update, which I'm expecting. We can also see some good guidance. Bear with me. Let's just quickly check if we have the updates, if we have the updated numbers out. I'm checking multiple sources. Please stand by. The results are not publicly released yet, so bear with me. No, I am watching, I'm monitoring everything. In the meantime, if you want to hit the like button and subscribe, I know you came from the previous event, but we are bringing you updates. And there we go. I've got the news here. We are bringing you updates on the eVTOL market daily, and we have direct engagement and direct connection to the likes of Joby, Aviation, Vertical Aerospace, Horizon Aircraft, Eve Air Mobility, and more. Right, the numbers are out. The updates are out. So, what is today's earnings call going to bring? First eIPP flights expected in September in Texas and targeting first passengers in 2026. Well, this is a massive update because finally we have somebody putting the finger on the timeline and saying we will fly here and we will fly first passengers by the end of the year. I mean, look at it. We are only 5 months away, less than 5 months away now from the end of the year. That is a significant milestone, and that is a significant update. Strongest quarterly progress yet in fifth and final stage of the FAA type certification. Wow, that's great. You can see the stock is now slightly recovering. I would not be surprised if when the call starts and we can hear guidance and we can hear Joe Ben talking, the CEO, Joe Ben Bevitt talking, this will go back to the previous levels. I would not be surprised because I am seeing some good updates. 5 aircraft flying and 12 more in production as the manufacturing ramp continues. Wow. So Joby are not messing around. They are getting ready and they are pursuing their target of the first passenger flights in 2026. Joint venture with Toyota lays groundwork for a strategic manufacturing alliance and high volume production. Wow, that is... We could see this before. I definitely want to see the filings, or when is Toyota going to release their second tranche of $250 million. Strong blade performance, generating $36.2 million in second quarter revenue, contributing to an increased full year 2026 full company revenue outlook between 115 and 125 million. So we have upgraded guidance as well. That is amazing. I'm wondering why we have this reaction, why we have this 3% dip after the closing bell. Strategic partnership, that's the most recent news. Strategic partnership with Atoms, the industrial AI and infrastructure company founded by Travis Kalanick, to develop multimodal transportation hub across... Oh, hang on. We are getting some... We are getting serious. Bear with me. We are getting serious. Sir Joey, it's a special message from our special guest.
At Sir Joey _806
I can't read out the first word.
$9.99 through Super Chat. House, Tumblr glass emoji, Tumblr glass
Sorry,
emoji,
it was a bit explicit.
Tumblr
I
glass
couldn't read it
emoji,
out, but
Tumblr
thank
glass
you for the
emoji.
support. Thank you for the super chat. That is the first super chat of the night. Thank you. And you know what? We might have a drink. If we have some good guidance, if we have some good night, we might have a drink at the end when we go to the interview. Those who just joined, bear with me. Those who just joined, I've got in my back pocket, I've got lined up Oliver Walker-Jones, the chief communications guy of Joby Aviation. I spoke to literally less than 2 weeks ago, literally before last week, few days ago. I spoke with him at the Farnborough International Air Show. This was exclusively for me, for you, and for the Martyn Lucas Investor Channel. Don't go anywhere after the call. We will not hold it for too long because I don't want you to miss this premiere, but you will definitely hear. I can already see topics he will be elaborating and expanding on, which we already have been talking about for tonight's call. So Oliver is ready with the interview. Joby currently sitting at $7.59. Let's have a look at the chart. We had a red long candle, about 3.5%. Now we had 1.5% correction, which got flat. Let's wait for the earnings call because we might hear some good guidance. We might hear some surprise from the CEO, Joe Ben Bevitt. Do we have any more? Yes, we have massive cash position. $2.3 billion in cash and short-term investments as of June the 30th, 2026. Wow, that is massive. Let me put Oliver to one side and let's see if we have the filings already because I'm getting messages. I'm getting more messages. Please stand by. We'll bring up the earnings because I want to see what was their cash burn so we can assess their runway. And if we are looking at 12 aircraft in the production line, that could mean something. That could mean something for us. Bear with me. Right, we have the press release here on hand. Financial results webcast, shareholders letter. This is what we are interested in. There will be our positions, our financial positions. So let's have a look into that. Joby is slightly recovering. We are sitting at $7.64.62 now. That's fine. Shareholders letter. The day is not over. Again, wait for the call, wait for the earnings. Shareholders letter, what we've got here. Highlights. First eIPP flights expected in September. This is what I've been talking about. We have literally 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks before the whole eVTOL sector will start taking off. And this is the proof here. This is the proof here for you. First, eIPP. eIPP is eVTOL Integration Pilot Program. This is a scheme backed up by the United States government and the FAA, the national regulator, trying to push out the initial operations in certain regions. And I've got more on it. And I think I can predict which regions are going to be first. I think I can predict where we can see Joby flying first. Well, before we dive deeper into it, let me just bring you this short analysis. Joby have been selected in 5 regions. We have New York, New Jersey, and wider New England concepts. A leading authority, Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. We have Texas Department of Transport, regions, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and eventually Houston as well. That is right up Martyn's alley. I would love to see Martyn flying on one. That would be great. Look, we are now recovering $7.66. It means nothing yet. The day is not over. The call hasn't started yet. But the green candle is currently getting longer and longer, cent by cent. Next selected region is statewide Florida, supported by Florida Department of Transport. We also have North Carolina with an autonomous component extending into Virginia. That's interesting. So that is backed by North Carolina Department of Transport, and the most challenging one, I would say, because it requires long distance. Look, Joby has been slowly recovering. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I've told you, by the call, we will be back on the 780 levels. And the last one is Utah, Oregon, Idaho, Arizona, and Oklahoma, supported and backed up by Utah Department of Transport and UFly. So what I can see where Joby will be deployed first will be Texas and Florida. Texas seems to be a hotspot for the deployment of the first flying taxi operations. It's not California. It's not the home base of Joby and Archer Aviation. It seems to be Texas and Florida. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Joby flying by September in Texas and Florida, continuing through October. And you can mark this down. You can mark my words and call me up on it later. Am I right? Am I wrong? There's only one way to find out. So that's the first line of the news. Now we are moving on. Strongest quarterly progress yet in fifth and final stage of the Federal Aviation Authority type certification. We will see a nice little progress bar. We will see a nice little chart. Look, Joby is recovering. $7.73. This is on the way back to the $7.80. The overreaction, which I don't know why, we will find out shortly. I have no idea why there was an overreaction, because it's all positive news. I mean, the balance sheet, $2.3 billion. Let's find out what the runway will be covered by this. So, more. 5 aircraft flying in 12 and 12 more in production. Manufacturing ramp continues. Joby are targeting up to 4 aircraft a month by 2027. Probably by the end of, or by the second half of 2027. It might not be in January, but this is a very strong statement, and I want to see an update on this, and I want to hear Joe Ben telling us more. Because if you look at the price tag, which appears to be about $4 million per aircraft, per their 4-seater aircraft, let's actually have a look at the aircraft. You know what? Let's have a look at the aircraft. Where is my... Bear with me. There is my footage. Let me put it up here. Let's have a look at the aircraft, shall we? Bear with me, and I will tell you more about the aircraft. Right, this is Joby Aviation's S4. No, not this one. This is the right button. This is Joby Aviation's S4. It's a 4-passenger plus 1 pilot configuration. Electric flying taxi, as they call them. An eVTOL. Electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. This is an exclusive footage from the Farnborough International Airshow, the biggest aviation stage of the year. From England, just few weeks ago, or actually few days ago. I directly engaged with Joby. You will see, I will walk you through their chalet. It was very upbeat and very positive, and it just underlines the company culture and the sentiment they have been sharing with the public. So this is the aircraft. 6 propeller configuration. They have slightly unique design. They have 6 tilt rotors, and all these 6 rotors engage for both, for the vertical and for the horizontal flight. Unlike Archer Aviation or unlike Vertical Aerospace, which have got only 4 and 6 propellers engaging for the vertical flight, sorry, for the horizontal flight, and then the rest, or all together, engaging for the vertical flight. So this is Joby Aviation and their S4 aircraft. This is their chalet at the Farnborough International Airshow. You will see more. Bear with me. I will talk you through. I will walk you through everything. You are not missing anything. So we can see we have been watching 5 of these aircraft flying already. One of which has been flying in Dubai. And this will be, I want to hear more, because this is another region where Joby will be deploying their aircraft and starting their pilot operations. So we are not only talking about New York and New Jersey, we are not talking about Texas, we are not talking about Florida, North Carolina and Utah region. We are also talking international airspace. We are talking United Arab Emirates and Dubai network, which is believed to be launched by the end of the year as well. So Joby just confirmed we can see first passenger flights by the end of 2026, in 5 months. Is this going to be in the United States? Is this going to be in Dubai? Or is this going to be in both regions? Well, as soon as the call starts, we will find out. And if they can confirm this will be both regions, Dubai and the United States, and maybe multiple cities in the United States, this could be a massive catalyst. Maybe not an immediate catalyst, but this could be a very short-term catalyst. So this is their aircraft. I just want to share something with you. It looks fairly humble. The configuration, the passenger seats, they look fairly minimalist and humble. Don't get deceived. They are fairly comfortable. The cabin is fairly spacious. And I would say it compares to the market-leading standard. Obviously not to the Vertical Aerospace's Velo, which is probably twice the size, but we are talking about completely different design here. So this is Joby Aviation. I will show you the cabin shortly. Let's have a look at the chart development. We are heading back to the $7.80 mark. Let's wait for the call. Don't go anywhere. The call starts in... Oh, it's 21 past. The call starts in 38 minutes. Joby usually start on time, so we will not miss it. There shouldn't be any delays. Joby have stepped up their presentation game, and their presentation is fairly engaging and quite visual as well. I hope we will have some slides. If not, I will be updating you with all the visuals as we go. After that, we'll do a short analysis with the analyst, which is me, and then I will send you to the world premiere of the interview with Oliver Walker-Jones, the Joby head of communications, and we will expand on all these topics. There will be some digs into the market peers, and there will be some not low blows, but there will be some punches. There will be some punches thrown. So don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. Strategic. Oh, apologies. I skipped one. Joint venture with Toyota lays groundwork for strategic manufacturing alliance and high volume production. Yes, we have been through it. I want to hear more. I want to see when Toyota is going. And I've got more footage for you, believe it or not. Bear with me 1 second and I will talk you through more. I want to see when Joby will be given those 250 million of the second tranche of Toyota investment. This is the Joby Aviation's chalet on the outside. And you can see they are not hiding it. They are actually very proud of their Toyota partnership. You can see Toyota cars everywhere. Toyota and Lexus official cars of their transport on the event and within the country. But you can see they are not messing around. They are not hiding it. You can see Toyota stand literally next to Joby's chalet. And we've got other visual as well. So what I want to see and hear, I want to hear when we can see the $250 million landing in the bank of Joby Aviation. And I want to see when we can start seeing the production line being set up. Strategic partnership with Atoms to develop air taxi hubs across US launch markets. Very recent news. I have no doubt we will hear more update on it. And this is the biggest, second biggest news probably, I would say. 2.3 billion in cash and short-term investments as of June the 30th, 2026, increased full year 2026 revenue outlook. Well, let's have a look. Joe Ben Bevet will be talking us through this. So let's just quickly skip it. I like the signature. He doesn't mess around. There's like no surname or anything, just Joe Ben. I love it. That's great. Right. It's happening. Look, it is happening. We're gonna see the flying taxis in the air in the United States as early as next month. That is exciting, isn't it? eIPP flights. I just see it. It's just the penny drop now. eIPP flights expected to begin next month. Wow. Right, do we have any updates? Yes, we have already carried out. You will hear more from Oliver on the interview following after this call, so don't go anywhere. Demonstration flights in New York and San Francisco Bay Area earlier this year showcased the operational and program maturity required to participate, and we are now preparing to conduct our first flights under the eIPP program in September. That just underlines what I've been saying recently. We have 4 to 6, maybe 8 months, weeks at a push. 4 to 6, maybe pushing towards 8, when the whole eVTOL sector will start taking off. It might not be a rocket launch, but it will be very steady drive, because there's so much catalyst in the pipeline by the end of the year and early 2027. You better buckle up for the ride. Do we have any more updates, or do we have any more specification? These are the regions we talked about. So you have the Utah on the left, you have Texas in the middle, bottom right is Florida, above it we've got New York, and on top there is the North Carolina. So all these regions involve Joby. Not only Joby, but we have in Florida, they'll be competing and building together this sector with Archer Aviation, Beta Technologies, Electra, and more unnamed partners. In North Carolina, we are looking at building this environment together with Beta Technologies and broader healthcare and operating partners. In the Utah sector corridor, we are looking at Beta Technologies, Ampere, and several other aviation partners. And now the things are heating up. For New York, we are looking at Joby building this sector together with Archer, Beta, and Electra. And Texas will be built together amongst Joby, Archer, Beta, and Whisk Aero. These are some good names. These are some solid names. Do we have any clarification on where we can see the first deployment? A part of the Texas eIPP project, we intend to conduct a week-long campaign of piloted vertical takeoff and landing flights across the Dallas-Fort Worth area that lay the groundwork for future commercial operations. So, guys, next stop is Texas. Martyn, are you watching? Are you ready? You better start booking me tickets because we might be flying. Over time and with extensive development and oversight from the FAA, we expect flights under the eIPP program. Okay, what else we've got? I hope we have some update on the Dubai market as well. Building the infrastructure for commercial operations. Let's have a look at the chart. We are recovering. What did I tell you? Give it a few minutes before, by the time we start the call, we'll be back to the closing price, $7.80. That was a nice buying opportunity for you. I didn't catch it, but, you know, I'm bringing this to you. I'm more excited than making money. I mean, I've been already trading this earnings call, so my average is, I think, $7.80. I bought a few shares, just to sell the push tomorrow or tonight if we have any more. And then I'm now thinking I might even hold it because the catalyst is there in plain sight. Right, building the infrastructure of commercial operations. We will hear from Joe Ben about this, and there will be more from Oliver about the infrastructure as well. So don't go anywhere. We've got world exclusive. I cannot stress this enough, how exclusive this interview is. Right, we have some interpretation of what the vertiport is probably going to look like. And it just makes sense because you have parking lots. So you park up, say, on the outskirts of, look at that, look at the price, look at Joby Go. Didn't I tell you we are back to $7.80? We are respectively $7.83. Didn't I tell you? We are back to it. You had nice opportunity there. I hope you have pounced it. Please do let me know if you are in Joby and what is your average. Please do let me know in the chat and I will get to you very shortly. I will read out your positions. But what are we looking at here? Is the proposal or the idea of a vertiport sort of structure. Think of this as a hub which is placed probably on the outskirts of the city, so you don't have to go through the densely used up roads and sort of through the traffic, especially on the rush hour or the peak hour, as they call it in here. Think of this as an equivalent of the British park and ride. Park and ride is you arrive at the outskirts of the city, park your car free, and then you get picked up by a bus and you got taken to the city. And this is the equivalent. More efficient, more comfortable, and probably faster as well. So think of it, you park up your car, whether it's in the center, whether it's on the outskirts, you book your ride through either Joby's platform or through Uber if you are in Dubai, and your ride is booked. Now you just wait. I have no doubt there could be a lounge built into the vertiport as well. We might see it in the left bottom corner here. Can you see the mouse? Yes, you can see the mouse. We might see it here. There could be like a little lounge, or here, passenger experience next to the EV charging spots. So fairly high standard, I would say. Yeah, and Joby will be building this together with Atom. We will hear more from Joe Ben on this. Let's move on. Preparing for customer operations, and this is important. And I see where this is going. That's great. As we prepare for customer operations, because we have a little hint here with that helicopter, that is Blade Air Mobility, the subsidiary of Joby Aviation. They acquired them last year. Already functioning ecosystem, already operating in New York, Los Angeles, South Europe, and now recently in London at the Farnborough International Air Show. And again, you will hear more about it in the interview. They have been actually flying people in from Heathrow. I mean, you can't do any better PR to yourselves, can you? So, as we prepare for customer operations, using Joby aircraft, we continue to build on the experience and capabilities of our Blade business. Nearly 1 year after the acquisition, Blade delivered a year-over-year growth of more than 50% in seats flown across passenger services and generated $36.2 million second quarter revenue. On many routes, aircraft availability rather than passenger demand is now the primary constraint on growth. That's what we want to hear. That is what we want to hear. We want to hear not that we don't have enough passengers. We want to hear we don't have enough aircraft. That is right up Joby's alley. That is great. The quarter included the highest number of new flyers using Blade's New York airport services. Wow. Okay, that's great. So let's hear the CEO. I think the first passengers will be flown as part of this ecosystem under blade. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned it. Well, let's show you some more footage from VAS. Let's show you some more exclusive on-the-ground engagement with Joby Aviation. I mean, look at this. That is London, baby. That is London. I met up with Joby few weeks ago when they presented their aircraft in the very heart of London, and you can actually see this beautiful picture in their shareholders letter. This is me talking to the general manager for the UK about the operations not only in the UK and how they are going to upscale. Advancing certification and ramping production. Oh, we don't have any update on this. Oh, okay, well, you can enjoy the footage anyway. We don't have any update. It doesn't matter. We will hear. They will mention it. And again, you will hear it in the interview with Oliver Walker-Jones. Advancing certification and ramping production. This is what we are looking forward to. We continue to make important progress on certification and production as we look ahead to the opportunities presented by the eIPP program and future commercial operations. We made our strongest progress yet in the 5th and final stage of type certification, and now have 5 electric air taxis flying, including our first FAA-conforming aircraft. 12 additional aircraft are in various stages of production, including 2 planned for delivery this year. What is very important here, that Joby have already been flying certification-conforming aircraft. This is the final stage of the type certification journey. We don't have any quantification, but if and when we get quantification, when Joby come out, or when Archer come out, or whoever else, and say, we are 2 quarters away, or we expect to close our certification in the next 3 quarters, or by the mid-2027, that will be a big catalyst for the sector, because now it is abstract. The certification process is an abstract number. You can only see percentage, which is sort of quantified, give or take. Once we see a concrete number, we can finally see some attraction of the investment sector. We are 23 minutes away. I would like to ask you to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new to this sector. We are bringing you exclusive engagement on not only with Joby, but on the whole eVTOL sector. And soon I'm back with my daily eVTOL show. Maybe sooner than you think. Maybe sooner than I think, actually. Right, so we'll definitely hear some more update. We have the quantification bar, so let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. Let me just move it a bit so you can see that. Oh, let's zoom out. That's better. So, stage 1, certification basis, complete. A means of compliance has always a bit of leeway because some things you have to revisit. You have some safety reserves. It's a very complex process. I don't even understand myself the whole certification. I understand the framework, but I don't understand like how complex that is. That's beyond my imagination. Yeah. I know from Vertical Aerospace, only for their piloted prototype, when they were targeting airworthiness by the CAA, which is the equivalent of the Federal Aviation Administration, the British one, the document had 20,000 pages. 20,000 pages just for a prototype, yeah? And now we are talking about aircraft that will be carrying passengers on board. So the safety standards are much higher. So we need to tick a lot of boxes. So that is why there is the 3% reserve. Certification plans, that's all laid out. Stage 4, testing and analysis. As you already heard, they are already flying one certification testing aircraft. And stage 5, show and verify. We have 10% progress. That is great. That is great because last quarter, I think that was only 5%. So we have a massive Massive push. Let's see if this is sustainable. Let's see if Joby can keep up. This is what you are interested in. Electric Skies tour across the United States. Next stop, Texas. As you could hear, September, only a few weeks away. Buckle up, because we will see Joby flying in Texas for the whole week. And maybe more. So Joby already presented on various events, most recently in Oshkosh, the biggest air show, probably the biggest air show in the United States. The America 250 Fair, National Mail in Washington. As you can see, London and the Farnborough International Air Show as well. Joby currently, if we have somebody from north of England, Joby currently, today and tomorrow, are in Manchester, in Media City. Was it Media City, UK? You will see them there. If you can go there, go for it. It's a great experience. Financial updates, this is the most important part. We are 19 minutes away now. 19 minutes away from the earnings call. This is the most important part, because we know we have 2.3 billion in cash on the balance sheet. We also know that we will see $250 million from Joby, from Toyota Motors. How long is this cash? How long runway is this cash position? How long of a runway, is this cash position going to provide us with? So, revenue totaled 38.6 million, mainly Blade Air Mobility. Our net loss of 245 million primarily reflected a net operating loss of 260.9 million and other income of 15.6 million. Operating expenses for the quarter totaled 299.5 million. So, with the current, do we have it here? So I don't need to do the maths. Yes, of course I have to do the maths. Doesn't matter. I love doing the maths. Ideally, not off the top of my head if it involves millions. So, let's do the maths together. 2.3 billion divided by, if we sustain the current cash burn, it will be increasing. The business is scaling up. At one point, there'll be the production line launch. But if we just do, let's just do very rough maths. So 2.3 billion divided by 0.3. So that works out 7 quarters. If we say we have increment of, say, 20% scaling up every quarter, we are probably looking at 1.5 year, give or take a quarter here and there, plus the Toyota money. So I would say 1.5 year of cash runway. So Joby Aviation is very likely not going to bankrupt in the next 18 months. By the time you will see them flying nationwide and internationally as well, by the time you can see them building 12 aircraft or up to 12 aircraft and delivering their first deliveries. How about that? How about that? Along with that, we have Blade Air Mobility, which will be upscaling, I have no doubt. It looks like nice setup, doesn't it? Let me know in the chat, what do you think? Let me know in the chat, what do you think? Is this a buy or not? And hang on, let me do the poll. Let me do the poll. We have been running a poll. Joby second quarter earnings, beat, miss, undecided. 50% believed it will be beat, miss 22, 29 undecided. So let's just do a new poll. Joby Aviation listening to the numbers and updates. Is this a buy or sell? Simple question. Option 1, buy. Option 2, sell. No, option 2, hold. hold. Option 3, sell. Shall we do undecided? Yes, let's do undecided. Undecided. Right, poll is live. Please do cast your votes. I want to see the sentiment. I want to see what you are thinking. Timothy Price, very nice setup. Yes, I agree. Let me get some more water. Whew, what a night. What a night. Right, what else we've got here? What else we've got here? Condensed statement of operations. Okay, we've got some more numbers. Let's have a look at the stock chart. There we go. What did I tell you? By the time we start the call, we are back to the previous levels. Great opportunity there. I will go through chat with you very shortly. We'll talk more about how Joby present themselves. I will show you Joby's chalet. I will show you the biggest party I've seen on an aerospace event. I've been through a few air shows now, but this was like a summer party. Don't go anywhere. Give me a few minutes. We will finish this filing, or not filing. We will finish these numbers. Cost of revenue. Okay, we have growth on revenue. That's great. What else we've got? Weighted average common shares. Okay. So we have not been diluting massively. Hang on. We have been diluting. Yeah, that was the big dilution a few months ago. Sorry, I'm looking at wrong lines. Okay, that's good. Joby flying. This is the L3 Harris, their military version, military and defense, S4T. It is a hybrid unit. And again, more on that in the interview. It's quite jam-packed with information, so you don't want to miss this. This is basically the same aircraft. It just fitted with a turbine in the back, and the turbine generates electricity, so you don't have to put batteries on board, because batteries are giving you limited capacity. They are giving you limited power density. And obviously, the weight is the limit. So what they do, what they are experimenting with, not only Joby, but Vertical Aerospace, Archer Aviation, Horizon Aircraft, and more. They put a turbine, not diesel, well, could be diesel turbine, could be a jet turbine, could be a piston engine as well. That generates electricity, and the electricity powers directly these electric motors in each of the rotor's pylon. Condensed balance sheets. This is what we are looking at. Total assets, 2.7 billion. Massive increment in last 6 months. Wow. Yeah, there was the 1 billion dilution few months ago. That triggered this massive sell-off of the eVTOL sector. Condensed statement of cash flows. But then you can see why Joby did it. Look at their position. I mean, yeah. Right, GAAP and non-GAAP measures. Okay, webcast details. We are 12 minutes away. Let me just start it up. Forward-looking statements. And beautiful picture from the Bay, San Francisco. Very iconic view. I do recommend you to watch the video. Do I have a... I've got a picture of it. So I'll show you the video later. When we start the call, I'll show you the video. Right, what we are doing now. So let's have a look at the current price, sitting $7.77. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. There we go. Let's show you Joby Aviation's summer party chalet. Where are we? Where are we? 16. Bear with me. I've got written down notes because I've got a lot of raw video from the event. That's not the right one. There you go. This is Joby Aviation's chalet, and you can see the experience. I mean, the colors. I spoke to one of the media guys who does obviously the media presentation and the graphics and everything. The colors you can see on their website and in pictures, they don't do it justice. They look much better in real life. And I mean, it literally felt like if I was attending a summer party. It was great. Look, there's some merch. They are making custom hats. I will show you mine shortly. But this is what you can see. Thank you for ducking. He didn't do a very good job in ducking away, but thank you anyway. I appreciate it. Great presentation, really. You could feel the warm feeling. You could feel you are welcome in there. You could sit in the aircraft, try the comfort. I've got more on that as well for you. Let's play this again. Let's play this again. I just brought up my Joby baseball cap. I will show you. So this was a bar, obviously alcohol-free bar, but they made very nice cocktails. Very refreshing as well. That is the lounge, the private lounge for the partners, and they also had like the investor and partner lounge. This is their merch. This lady is making custom-made baseball caps. I will show you shortly. That is the presentation slides. That is the man who's doing great, who's putting great effort into not obstructing my view. Thank you again, mate. That is the little reception, and that is the aircraft. This is the same aircraft you could see in London, by the way. It just got re-wrapped. So if you think of your car getting wrapped, and it can be quite difficult, it can be quite demanding. I mean, think of this aircraft. Look at all the surfaces, like the tail, and oh, it must have been a nightmare. So, Joby cap. I got a blue one with Farnborough 26 patch and this amazing Joby in the back. I mean, there was like 6 variations, and people made it look like a Scouts ribbon, but I just thought it would be nice to have the Farnborough there, and obviously seeing who it belongs to. So yeah, great touch by Joby, great presentation, and just the atmosphere. It underlines the sentiment Joby have been sort of sharing with the public, with them, and with the market as well. So again, if you are in London, if you are in Manchester or north of England, tomorrow is your chance to see this aircraft. If you are in the United States, few weeks, and we are flying in Texas, and then possibly Florida, and maybe back to New York again. So quite exciting again. Let's quickly go through chat. We have 8 minutes. Let's quickly go through your messages. Oh, I've been getting some gifts. I can't see them. I'm sorry, I couldn't see them popping up. Thank you, Liz and whoever that was. Right, let's quickly go through it. Pinned in the top of the chat, you can see the Premiere link. If you don't go anywhere, you will get to it very shortly. Whew. Let me catch a bit of breath. Been talking for 60 minutes. No, that's a lie. I've been talking for 52 minutes. Let me get a bit of water. Drake is here. Lags? What do you mean lags? David Hensley, Liz, everyone is here. Pliskin. Martyn sent me, love it. Finally passengers, says Drake. Yes, Crypto the Savage is here as well. Joby flying high. Yeah, let's go. Okay, super chat, special message from Sir Joey. Thank you for the message. Poop, eVTOL gang in the house. I love it. We will have a drink at the end. Don't worry. Cause the whole market dumps Vaz. It will. It will be probably a couple of weeks. It will be. Let's see what SpaceX does. By the way, let's have a look at SpaceX. I was so excited that I forgot to have a look at SpaceX. 108, holding the closing bell levels. Tomorrow will be exciting. Tomorrow will be very, very exciting. Let's keep an eye on SpaceX. Dan is here, David Hensley as well. Dan says, my average for Joby is $7.70. Excuse me. $7.77. Slow down, Vaz. We've got 7 minutes. Slow down, Vaz. Gotta be lucky. Well, you are back in the money. You are back in the money, mate. Russia signed crypto clarity into law. The US is now in last place. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear more from Sensei on that. Hi, Danny. I get 764, just 16 shares. That's a nice position, Liz. That's a nice average. That's a nice average. If you consider the recent low, and I think, is it a 52-week low as well? Was just $6.60. That's not bad. That's not bad. Trixie, guys, I think we can start buying. I mean, it's a no-brainer, is it? It's there. I mean, it'll be late. When you see them flying in Texas, it will be late because people, that is when the public comes in and they will start buying. So, again, you have probably a couple of weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks before we can start watching completely different levels. Steven is here. All the regulars are here. I love it. Mark Freya as well. Martyn sent me. Love it. Vaz, and are we talking about Czech Republic? No. If there will be any deployment in Europe, that will be the United Kingdom and maybe some offshore deployment in the north, probably Scandinavia. Probably not for public, not for civil transport by 2029, maybe 2030. Obviously, the first deployment will be the United States, then United Kingdom 2028, and then and together with the Mid East as well. We don't only have Dubai, we have Abu Dhabi with Archer. We also have the South Arabia as well. They will not stay. They will not want to stay behind. Talk is Joby fly. Yes, Australia as well. We just don't have any timeline on Australia. Presumably 2028, 2029. But yes, they have been working together. The United States, Canada, Great Britain, Australia, and remember now. These 5 regulators. I know it's not Europe. It's somebody else. Don't remember now. Doesn't matter. All these 5 major aerospace, airspace, whatever regulators, they are working together behind the scenes to push this concept through, to make the certification path much more accessible to these players. Okay, do we have any questions? Mark Freya sent star for 2 jewels. Thank you for that. Thank you for the present. Love it. Liz, get me some more. I would like to ask you, if you haven't done yet, hit the like button and definitely subscribe, because I guess what? I haven't played this yet. Where's my little stinger? Oh, there it is. You're only 20 minutes of the eVTOL market updates. You need daily. Daily. Where is my chart? There we go. SpaceX. Oh, we've got some development. We've got some green candle forming. What is this doing? 0.3%. Interesting. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. What is Joby doing? Sitting at just on the $7.80 mark. That's great. Let's quickly go through most of your messages. We are 2 minutes away. What I should have done, I should have refreshed the webcast. So let me just do it in the background. I thought I was registered. Okay. Company. Bear with me. I'm just starting up the lobby. There we go. I can hear lobby music. I will mute it for copyright reasons. We are literally 2 minutes away from the earnings call to start. Are we going to hear some more updates? Are we going to see some price recovery? Well, recovery has already been there. Are we going to see some movement up? There's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out. Abby sent happy poop for 10 jewels. I love it. Abby is a happy pooper. I love it. Mark Freyer sent gold coin for 10 jewels as well. I bought back today 50 shares at $7.78. Congratulations, DJ Hayes. Liz sent happy poop for 10 jewels. So we already have 2 happy poopers. I love it. Grimace milkshake. Oh, got a special message.
At Potato Family 3958 tipped $1.99 through Super Chat. Yes, making money on flying taxis. Vaz is awesome.
That's great. Thank you for the special message from our friend Tony. Oh, no, sorry, that's Potato Family. Sorry. The pro member, Potato Family. Sorry, I mixed you up with poor man to rich man. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the special message. Grimace's milkshake. Joby flying eVTOL. Archers still stuck on CTOL. Well, what I think, next week, Archer can come out with the news that they have completed the piloted transition. Because it's an earnings call. Archer like to bring big news on the earnings call day, on the morning. We have weekend before that. We have, the transition will have been done by now. If they want, they will not be chancing it for last minute. But I think, me personally, speaking to the people behind the scenes, we all agree that Archer very likely can announce their transition on the earnings call. Let's find out. Let's find out. I have more engagement with Archer as well. You will see that over the weekend. And on Archer earnings call on Monday, there'll be a giveaway with Archer merch. Right, the lobby is open. The lobby is open. Let's quickly see if we have any more messages.
Is being recorded. It is
and very shortly, I will get quiet and hand you over to Joe Ben Bevitt, the CEO.
Thank you. Good afternoon and evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Joby Aviation's second quarter 2026 financial results conference call. My name is Teresa Thurthiel, and I'm Joby's Head of Investor Relations. We will begin today with prepared comments from Joe Ben Bevitt, Founder and Chief Executive Officer, and Rodrigo Brumana, Chief Financial Officer. For the Q&A portion of today's call, we will also be joined by our Executive Chairman, Paul Sciarra. Please note that our discussion today will include statements regarding future events and financial performance, as well as statements of belief, expectation, and intent. These forward-looking statements are based on management's current expectations and involve risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those expressed or implied. For a more detailed discussion of these risks and uncertainties, please refer to our filings with the SEC and the safe harbor disclaimer contained in today's shareholder letter. The forward-looking statements included in this call are made only as of the date of this call, and the company does not assume any obligation to update or revise them. Also, during the call, we'll refer both to GAAP and non-GAAP financial measures. A reconciliation of non-GAAP to GAAP measures is included in our Q2 2026 shareholder letter, which you can find on our investor relations website, along with a replay of this call. With all of that said, I'll turn the call over to Joe Ben.
Thank you, Teresa, and thank you everyone for joining us today. It's an incredibly exciting time to be part of our industry. After many years of hard work, designing, building, testing, and flying our aircraft across thousands of flights and tens of thousands of miles, we're now at the point where we're preparing for commercial service. I'm pleased to confirm that next month, we intend to complete our first eIPP flights in Texas. The White House-backed eIPP program has the potential to significantly accelerate our path to commercial service, and we're grateful to the FAA for their continued partnership as we look ahead to these flights. The flights in Texas will be the first of many that bring Joby together with state and local bodies, as well as the FAA, to prove out the value and operational maturity of our technology. Over the course of a week, we'll be flying routes across the Dallas-Fort Worth area that lay the groundwork for future commercial operations. These vertical takeoff and landing flights will demonstrate how our aircraft can transform travel across a major metropolitan area. Over time, and with extensive involvement and oversight from the FAA, we expect flights under the eIPP program to progress from those with only a pilot on board to those carrying non-paying passengers and eventually paying passengers. And in preparation for those flights, I'm pleased to confirm that we continue to target carrying our first passengers this year. As we look ahead to commercializing our service, I've never been more excited about the potential for vertical lift. We see that potential demonstrated every day through our Blade business as customers choose to pay for journeys that give them meaningful time back. We acquired Blade just about a year ago with strong conviction in their team, their product, and the opportunity presented by the network they've developed across the US and the south of France. Over the past year, that conviction has only strengthened. The business continues to grow quarter on quarter, so much so that the core constraint we're facing on many routes is now aircraft availability rather than passenger demand. The number of seats sold in Q2 was up over 50% from the same time last year, marking Blade's best performing Q2 on record in that respect. This quarter also saw the highest number of new flyers going to and from New York City airports since 2023, while route expansions contributed to more than 40% year-on-year growth in Hampton's revenue. We also saw positive impact from a number of key events around the world, including the World Cup and the US Open here in the US, as well as the Monaco Grand Prix, where we sold roughly 4,500 seats to or from the race. The last quarter was so strong, in fact, that today I'm pleased to confirm that we are raising our full-year revenue guidance after Blade's revenue grew 32% year-on-year in the first half. Looking ahead, we're drawing on Joby's existing relationship with Uber to drive increased demand. This is in addition to a new partnership between Blade and Visa, signed during the quarter, which gives Visa Infinite consumer and business cardholders access to a premium suite of benefits on Blade's signature airport service in New York. Vertical takeoff and landing has been our North Star at Joby since day one, and our experience integrating Blade over the past year has only reinforced how central it is to the customer experience. Flying between airports is something aviation has done successfully for a long time. The real opportunity comes from taking customers from where they begin their journeys to where they want to go, saving them the time and friction of traveling through an airport. Blade's experience with the New York to Hampton service brings this point to life. Customers can book a conventional fixed-wing aircraft from Teterboro to Montauk today for roughly one-third of the price of a helicopter flight from Manhattan. And yet utilization of the helicopter service remains significantly higher. That tells us just how much customers value the time savings and convenience of beginning their journey in the city and avoiding the airport altogether. Being able to take off vertically is a fundamental part of what drives Blade's success today. And we believe the opportunity becomes even greater with the introduction of the Joby aircraft, which is quieter, less expensive to operate, and designed specifically for journeys like these. In July, I had the opportunity to experience this convenience for myself, flying to and from the Farnborough Air Show.
There you go.
Despite being one of the world's largest air shows, everyone still arrives by road or rail on journeys that can take up to 2 hours. We ran our Blade service there for the first time, connecting central London to Farnborough Airport in just 18 minutes, selling out seats on several days and underscoring the value of vertical lift in the UK market. While we were at Farnborough, we signed a multi-year definitive agreement with Virgin Atlantic that builds on that opportunity and sets out a path for us to launch service across the UK with a particular focus on London and Manchester. We also held more than 150 meetings with regulators and stakeholders from markets around the globe, including a veritable alphabet soup of regulators that included the DFT and the CAA from the UK, EASA from Europe, GACA and the GCAA from the Middle East, the US DOT and the FAA, as well as ANAC from Brazil, to name just a few. And there was one common thread amongst all these meetings. They are just as excited about vertical lift as we are and are watching Joby's progress closely. They're seeing
this is what is coming after the call.
Program, and they're asking how they can unlock the same level of momentum we're seeing in markets like the US and the UAE. As well as seeing great support on the regulatory side in those markets, we're also making incredible progress with infrastructure. Earlier this week, we announced a strategic partnership with Atoms, the industrial AI infrastructure company founded by Travis Kalanick. Travis co-founded Uber in 2009, the same year that I founded Joby. And since our first jam session in 2015, the one that seeded Uber Elevate, he's been all in on electric flight. He's one of the most dynamic founders of his generation, with a rare ability to see the whole system and turn ambitious ideas into real industries. Together, we're working on doing just that again, with a joint understanding that the next revolution in transportation requires not only new vehicles, but also new infrastructure. Our shared vision goes beyond air taxis. With the rollout of autonomous vehicles gaining significant momentum, we see an opportunity to create a new class of mobility hub, designed from the outset to support both technologies. These hubs will combine takeoff and landing and charging for electric aircraft with charging and depot services for autonomous vehicles, sharing fixed costs, creating stronger operating economics, delivering seamless journeys for our customers, and even greater value for the communities in which we'll operate. The Atoms team is world-class, with deep expertise across acquisition, financing, development, electrification, and permitting. And after 8 years of working in stealth, recently raised $1.7 billion with lead investment from A16Z to support their growth. Our own aviation experts will now work alongside the Atoms team to identify and develop the best sites for our network. We'll be focusing initially on Florida, New York, and Texas, the same markets where we're preparing to launch early operations under the eIPP program, as well as here in California. In addition to our own progress on infrastructure, we continue to see accelerating momentum and investment by states and airports here in the US, infrastructure partners across the industry, and countries around the world. Florida enacted legislation allowing the state to fund certain vertiport projects at up to 100%, committing millions of dollars to activate new sites all over the state. We're excited that Orlando is already moving forward with developing a vertiport in the central terminal area of one of the country's busiest commercial airports. In Dubai, at the Marina, the second of 4 vertiports being built by our partners is nearly complete, and we continue to see meaningful progress on infrastructure in markets like Japan, the wider UAE, Korea, and Australia. To make the most of this momentum, we still have to deliver our part, the aircraft, and the service, and I'm pleased to report excellent progress there too. We now have 5 of our electric air taxis in the air, including our first FAA-conforming aircraft, and we have 12 more aircraft in various stages of the production process, including 2 set for delivery this year. As we've said before, manufacturing is hard. Anyone who has tried to do it at scale will tell you that. And building conforming aircraft represents a step change in complexity. We are putting in the hard miles now so that we're ready to make the most of all of the opportunities I've just described. Over the last quarter, we've worked tirelessly to remove bottlenecks and improve processes. And during the first 6 months of this year, as just one example, we reduced the non-conformance rate in our manufacturing processes by nearly 40%. This represents excellent progress as we move from R&D builds to low-rate production. During the quarter, we also took a significant step forward in our relationship with Toyota, forming a joint venture that lays the groundwork for high-volume commercial production, helping to significantly reduce the risk of one of the greatest challenges ahead of us. We're incredibly grateful to have had Toyota, the world's largest automaker, at our side for more than 7 years, leaning into that challenge and working with us to bring the best of automotive manufacturing to aviation. We'll share more about our plans for the strategic alliance in due course, but I'm pleased to say that a senior Toyota manufacturing leader is set to join our Marina team shortly as we continue to work ever more closely together. By investing together in the people, facilities, and systems required for production, we will create a more capital-efficient path to scale and a manufacturing system designed from the outset to deliver exceptional quality and consistency at volume. I'd like to end where I started, with the eIPP program. As I've said, the program promises to be an important opportunity to accelerate commercialization, and a critical part of that will be the safe and effective integration of our aircraft into the national airspace. In April, we announced a partnership with ASI focused on this work, and I'd like to congratulate ASI on being recently selected by the FAA to provide the central software infrastructure for managing traffic across the U.S. national airspace system. ASI is effectively building an operating system for airspace, the invisible infrastructure that will allow us to scale access to our skies. It's an honor to be partnered with them, and we look forward to collaborating on airspace integration as part of our eIPP work. It's incredibly exciting to see all of these pieces coming together, and I hope everything we've shared today gives you a real sense of just how close we are and how ready we are for commercialization. We're building the infrastructure, we're building the aircraft, we're building the customer base, and we're building our operational experience. And on top of it all, we just had our strongest quarter yet in terms of progress on the 5th and final stage of type certification. Taken together, everything I've described today is how we will unlock the third dimension of mobility and turn electric vertical flight from an extraordinary technology into an everyday reality, giving people their time back and fundamentally changing the way we move. And with that, I'll hand it over to Rodrigo.
Thank you, Joby, and good evening, everyone. As Joby said in the beginning of the call, the revenue raise is a big part of today's story, and Blade is a big part of the reason. The way Blade delivered is exactly what's giving us the confidence to increase guidance. On a more personal note, it was great to see many of you at Farnborough last month. What struck me there was the energy in the room wasn't just talk. It was a response to real execution, progress on certification, on manufacturing, and on building the commercial foundation for the eIPP. What I would like to do now is put numbers to that progress and walk you through how we're deploying capital against it with the usual discipline. Let me start with the second quarter financial results. We ended the second quarter with approximately $2.3 billion in cash equivalents, and short-term investments. Our Q2 use of cash equivalents, and short-term investments totaled approximately $202 million compared to $195 million in the first quarter, which included the net cash impact of our Ohio facility purchase. Excluding that one-time Ohio investment, our first half 2026 use of cash was $365 million, which is within our guidance range of $340 to $370 million. Additional detail is available in our Q2 shareholder letter. Total property and equipment investment in the quarter was approximately $29 million, compared to $78 million last quarter. With the Ohio purchase behind us, CapEx declined sequentially, though it remains elevated versus prior years as we build out manufacturing capacity. Revenue for Q2 was $39 million, primarily from Blade passenger business, and up $14 million from the prior quarter. Blade delivered a standout quarter, supported by the seasonal summer ramp, favorable weather, and elevated demand around major events. We are pleased with that momentum. It exceeded our expectations, and it's reflected in the raised guidance we'll walk you through shortly. Total operating expenses for Q2 were $300 million compared to $258 million in Q1. The $42 million increase was primarily driven by $23 million of continued investment to support certification, manufacturing ramp, and commercial readiness, $11 million in costs related to increasing revenue, and $8 million in other expenses. On a GAAP basis, we reported a Q2 net loss of $245 million compared to $110 million in the prior quarter. Most of that increase was related to a $108 million non-cash unfavorable change in the fair value of warrants and earn-out shares. The rest was a $27 million increase in loss from operations. Keep in mind that fair value revaluation is driven primarily by changes in our share price and can introduce meaningful non-cash volatility from quarter to quarter. Adjusted EBITDA, a non-GAAP metric that we reconcile to net income in our shareholder letter, was a loss of $197 million in Q2 compared to a loss of $179 million in Q1. The $19 million change quarter-over-quarter reflects the revenue and expense dynamics I just described. Stepping back for a moment, the mix of our spending is shifting to preparation for commercial operations as well as aircraft production. In the first half, capital expenditures were $107 million, including $62 million for Ohio and $15 million for Hollister, where we have invested in expanded flight test capabilities. We expect capital spending to run below the first half pace in the back half, though still elevated relative to prior years as we keep investing in manufacturing and commercial infrastructure. And we will continue to size that spend to respective milestones. As we advance our US go-to-market through eIPP, we are investing in the foundation required to carry passengers.
I can't believe this!
Maintenance and training.
A Johnny Jakes one has become a
turn an
member.
aircraft into a running service. It is an exciting time. We see the eIPP as complementary to certification, a parallel path to build, improve the commercial side of the business, while certification continues on its own track. We are spending as we hit milestones, not before. On manufacturing, our joint venture with Toyota lets our teams work side by side to scale production. It also let us share the investment required to build that capability, leveraging Toyota's decades of production expertise. As we finalize the remaining supply agreements, we continue to expect Toyota's $250 million directly investment in Joby to close later this year or early next.
That's good news.
Now,
that's
onto
good
our
news.
guidance. Our approach to capital remains disciplined and milestone-driven. As we move through the back half of the year, we are managing spend to optimize for certification progress, production ramp, and increasingly, commercial readiness through the eIPP. For the second half of 2026, we expect to use $385 to $415 million in cash, primarily to support certification, manufacturing, eIPP, and commercialization. The step up from the first half reflects deliberate investment.
Look at the price creeping up.
As we scale
I'll continue
into
tomorrow.
Operations. And as always, we can stage a portion of that spend to match our progress, keeping our usual capital discipline. On revenue, given Blade's continued strength and healthy demand for air mobility, we are raising our full-year guidance to a range of $115 to $125 million from a prior $105 to $115 million range. With $63 million in revenue already recognized in the first half, and Blade typically peaking in the third quarter, we feel good about delivering on this increased range. Thank you for your continued support, and operator, please open the call for questions.
This is the most important part. There could be some harsh questions, and they can swing the stock price up and down. Please don't go anywhere. We'll talk about it after the Q&A section, and also after this few minutes, we'll have an exclusive world premiere, my interview with Joby, and you will hear more expansion on most of the things we've just been listening to.
Our first question comes from the line of Andres Shepard with Cantor Fitzgerald. Please proceed with your question.
Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Congratulations on the quarter and all the great progress. And it was great to see everyone at the Farnborough Air Show a few weeks ago. First question I guess I have is just coming back to the eIPP. So again, a lot of great progress here and initial flights in September and first passengers in 2026. Very exciting. I guess my question here, maybe for you, Joby, is, how are you thinking about utilizing your current fleet across these projects and including maybe your aircrafts in production? Like, how do you expect, I guess, to deploy these across the different projects? And then maybe secondly, and I realize this might be a bit early, but do we have a sense of, revenue generating opportunities that may come from the eIPP? Thank you.
Thank you, Andres. It was wonderful to see you in Farnborough. I'll take the first part of that and then pass it to Rodrigo. The eIPP is really a spectacular opportunity that's been provided to us, and we're really excited about it. Really excited about beginning that in Texas with our existing fleet and expanding that over the months to come and out into 2027 as we bring more and more aircraft online. As I mentioned in my prepared remarks, we have our first conforming aircraft flying, and we have 12 more that are in production. That's an increase of 4 additional aircraft this quarter into our production queue. And the reason we're leaning so hard into manufacturing is the incredible opportunity that we see in front of us, both with the eIPP and, as Rodrigo spoke about, with the incredible performance of the Blade division. With that, I'll hand it to Rodrigo.
Yes, thanks, Joby, and good to see you, Andres, that in Farnborough. Look, it's premature to provide far guidance on the numbers today, but the reason we're so excited about this program is because it's giving us the opportunity to monetize every single aircraft that comes off our production for the foreseeable future. So think about the eIPP markets alone. So we're talking about Texas, Florida, New York. That alone could absorb the whole production for quite some time. And let's not forget about California, our backyard here. So number one, we want to maximize that opportunity.
SpaceX.
And that's why we're so focused on production growth. And we started that not yesterday. We started much earlier than that. And don't forget, we intended to start passenger operations in Dubai as well. That will be on top. And I think Blade is showing us that vertical lift, what it can do. We saw a record quarter, and you were actually to experience that benefit while you're there in the UK.
Wonderful. Thank you both. That's very helpful. Really appreciate that color. Maybe just as a quick follow-up, Joby, maybe a bit of an unconventional question, but at the Farnborough Air Show, you highlighted hydrogen as an exciting kind of new propulsion system. And so I guess my question there is, maybe can you elaborate on that? How material is that to the story? I know it's maybe not talked about enough, but that was a bit differentiated. So just curious on how you're thinking about that and maybe some potential opportunities there that you're considering. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andres. So hydrogen has been something we began pulling the thread on back 6+ years ago. just to set the context, hydrogen has 3 times the specific energy of jet fuel. And with our fuel cell systems, we can convert that chemical energy into propulsion about twice as efficiently as a small turbine converts jet fuel into propulsion. And as a result, you can do really game-changing things with aircraft design. If you think about this in the context of a long-haul aircraft, take an A320 versus an A350. So the A350 flies twice as far with twice as many passengers. It weighs 4 times as much. It takes off with more weight in jet fuel than weight in passengers. And that aircraft also costs 4 times as much. So it costs twice as much per passenger, weighs twice as much per passenger. And that's all down to the fuel being very, very heavy.
It's talking about helicopters,
lighter weight
not
fuel,
the Airbus A350.
Do really game-changing things with aircraft design. We think this is the biggest disruption in aviation since the invention of the turbine engine back in the 1930s. And we think that by being one of the world leaders, if not the world leader, we're going to see really significant upside over the years to come.
Excellent. Very well said. Thank you so much. Congrats again on the quarter, everybody. We'll pass it on.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Savi Syth with Raymond James. Please proceed with your question.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Just on Blade, perhaps, I was kind of curious what you're seeing given the kind of the fuel increase here and Blade still relying on fuel. Just what you're seeing in terms of kind of pass through and kind of the ability for demand to kind of absorb that, and any high level thoughts on, margins this year versus maybe the potential there as kind of fuel might pull back.
So, Savi, I think your question, and this is Rodrigo here, about the demand. Look, number one, if I look at Blade itself, the acquisition has been a home run. You saw that in the quarters here. We just had the highest number of seats sold in Q2 in our history. And most importantly, the highest numbers of new flights from NYC in New York since 2023. What that's telling you is the demand for vertical lift is very high. So Blade has been a home run acquisition for us. We are lapping the first year pretty soon, and they have reaccelerated their growth. That's coming from the focus from the management in the high demand that we have for the service. And it's being a very valuable infrastructure that we acquire. So if you think about what we did here, we acquired a already built infrastructure, a loyal and growing customer base that loves the benefits from vertical lift in a decade of know-how. So we put this all together. This is a very growing demand for us. Look, now in terms of I guess your question is more like for the operating costs. I would say flight margin has improved, and you're not seeing a direct impact that will be flowing through the bottom line. Right now, we are running a business that is not consuming cash, and in fact, is contributing on the growth. And also, I think the team is doing a pretty good job in terms of selling the capacity that is available to the demand that's quite high.
That's helpful. I appreciate that. And maybe if I could briefly follow up on Andre's question on the eIPP side, just on the aircraft that you plan to use, is that the certification conforming aircraft that you plan to use in those flight tests, and or are you able to kind of use some of the kind of prior generation aircraft as well as you kind of progress through that flying?
Thank you so much, Savi. We're going to use a mix of different aircraft, both aircraft from our existing fleet as well as producing as many aircraft as we possibly can off of our company conforming production line.
That's helpful. Thank you.
I think it should be up to 6 or 7 aircraft from the previous updates.
On your telephone keypad to join the question and answer queue. Our next question comes from the line of James Kirby with JP Morgan. Please proceed with your question.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for the time. I just wanted to ask on the scale and ramp, Job, and I appreciate the color you answered in the previous question on the 4 incremental in development aircraft quarter. Is that a right cadence to think of for the back half of the year? I think you mentioned 2 are expected to be delivered later this year. So is the right way to think about that is that you expect to end the year with 7 aircraft flying?
Yeah, thank you so much. We are, as I mentioned, ramping our manufacturing as aggressively as we can. We've been making really phenomenal progress on the non-conformance rate, which translates directly into improvements in efficiency and improvements in output. And so we are going to continue to add new aircraft into the front end of the build queue because there is a lag between when we start a build and when the aircraft comes out the back end. As I mentioned, we're targeting at least 2 aircraft to come off the line over the back half of the year and hoping to over-deliver.
Got it. That's really helpful. And then for my second question, just in light of recent industry announcements on the defense side, maybe just wanted to give you a chance to really just clarify. I know you've been asked on almost every call on the end markets for defense, but maybe just where the defense fits into the Joby ecosystem, and particularly where you prioritize it with the eIPP, obviously ramping in the coming months.
That's a question hinting at Archer.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the question.
Announcement.
This is Paul. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation across the industry around hybrid VTOL for defense. And, we have been working on this category for going on 2 years. And not just working on it, but actually demonstrating improved range, improved capability in conjunction with moving to a hybrid platform on real aircraft that are flying. And we think that puts us in a really strong position to take advantage of the opportunities that we see before us across multiple different customers across the DoW. Now, look, the mission types for vertical lift vehicles for those customer sets are really wide. There are areas in strike, areas in ISR, areas in infill and exfil, particularly for passenger carrying versions, that I think are all super exciting for the core capabilities that we're demonstrating. And I think one of the things that you're seeing more broadly in defense is that it used to be that specs sort of delivered on capabilities, but actually the reverse is largely true now, or at least there's an interplay between the two. And it's demonstrating capabilities that allow you to shape the specifications that the customer wants. So that's why we've been doing the work and why we think we're going to be well positioned to take full opportunity of all of those defense customer use cases.
Got it. Thanks, Paul.
Interesting. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. After this show in a few minutes, you'll have an exclusive interview. Me talking to Joby at the Farnborough International Air Show.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking my questions. With respect to the eIPP program that's about to start for you guys, are there any aspects of running the eIPP program that could give you certification credits, or should we think of these as separate efforts with no overlap?
Yeah, thank you so much. We do see the potential for there being the potential to accelerate our overall certification program on the back of a lot of the flight testing and experience that we gain through the eIPP program. We're just as a recap, we're working very closely with the FAA as well as local municipalities as we conduct our flights and operations under the eIPP program. And that close coordination, we think, has the potential to pay dividends.
Thank you. And then my follow-up, I guess, is around the Atoms partnership. Should we assume, this partnership implies that you could be shouldering some of the capex that goes into developing the vertiports? Just wanted to see if this potentially adds some additional burden on your balance sheet, or if that is not a correct assumption.
Thanks for the question. So it is a co-investment vehicle, and both parties are going to contribute capital. But most importantly, when it comes to the way in which it's structured, is that Adams has built up a number of financing relationships over a long period of time, given their work in real estate development and operation for many, many years now. So we get to be the beneficiary of a lot of the relationships and the credibility that they've already sort of built out. JB already mentioned sort of in the outset how we're going to sort of lean on the Adams team for site identification, procurement, and in turn sort of build out in operations. And that in turn means that we have a smaller share of the lift for all of the sites that we develop. But I think the most important thing really is the opportunity to kind of help to define a brand new asset class. With two important new modes of transportation entering US cities over this year and the coming years, that is autonomous vehicles on the ground and eVTOL aircraft in the air, we're going to need this sort of new infrastructure. And I think if we can go out and demonstrate its viability in conjunction with the smart folks over at Adams, we really can define this new asset class that us and others can continue to develop in more markets and at greater scale over time.
Understood. Thank you for that. Just can I maybe ask one question on the two aircrafts that you are planning to deliver this year? Who are those going to, if you can share any color on that?
Oh.
So as I mentioned at the outset, we have far more demand for aircraft than we have the production, or we're able to produce at the moment, and so we're ramping production. We have not specifically decided the destinations for those two aircraft. Dubai and the UAE remain very high on our priority list, and but we will make strategic decisions as those aircraft come off the line.
Thank you, guys. That's all I have.
That
Appreciate it.
is telling me revenue from aircraft delivery 2027.
Our next question comes from the line of Austin Moeller with Canaccord Genuity. Please proceed with your question.
Hi, good afternoon, Joe, Ben, Rodrigo, and Paul. So of the conforming aircraft that are currently in the assembly phase, do we have any timetable on when some of those are going to come off the line? I know one of them is already in ground testing, but when those would come off the line and start conducting flight tests, because our thinking should be that it's 12 months from when TIA flight testing starts to cert, correct?
Thanks, Austin. So just to kind of recap it for folks, we have the first step is doing the work on stage 5, and as we reported, this is the final stage of certification. We reported record progress on stage 5 this quarter, so really thrilled with the work the team's doing there. That is about running the component level testing, the system level testing, and writing those test reports. Making great progress on that. The second piece is preparing the flight test plans that first Joby pilots will get in and fly on those aircraft. And then it is about the third leg of the stool is we need to expand the flight envelope on that first conforming aircraft. We've done that work already on our prior series of aircraft, which are, for all intents, very similar to our FAA-conforming aircraft. And so we're, in a sense, repeating those exercises. The other element that we're now working on in parallel is this work on the eIPP. And we see that as an incredible opportunity, but also an additional burden on the team. And so we think that it has the potential, in the short term, it's additional effort, but as I said earlier, it has the potential to accelerate our overall certification program. But the short term may be some extra load.
Okay. And can you comment on the incremental $250 million equity investment that's expected from Toyota? Does that go to you now, or would that go within the JV?
Hey, Austin, Rodrigo here, and I look forward to seeing you in the conference next week. Short answer is it's coming, and it's going to go directly to Joby Inc. Should expect that by the end of the year or early next year.
Awesome. I'll pass it back there. Thank you.
Good answer.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Chris Pierce with Needham & Company. Please proceed with your question.
Hey, everyone. I just want to, can you help me sort of level set what to expect in September and through the rest of the year in Texas? Like, should this look like the Electric Skies event? Should this look like one flight, or could this be, you know, not high frequency, but, you know, an aircraft there flying on a semi-regular basis? And are these passengers, you know, kind of one-off type passengers, or are they able to book through the Joby app or the Uber app? Like, I just want to kind of know what we should be looking for at the start and how it progresses.
I love this question.
Just as a recap,
wow.
This is staged, so it will begin with Joby pilots on board, and then progress to passengers, and then further on down the road, paying passengers. And so that's the progression you should expect. With the flights, specifically the flights in Texas, we're planning that over a course of a week, and we plan to do a number of flights that allow us to really get comfortable operating in the Dallas-Fort Worth airspace. We see this as a tremendous opportunity, and Texas is a really, really exciting market for us and for the industry as a whole.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense. Thanks for that. So we shouldn't expect. That's fine. I get it. Okay, perfect. And
we'll talk about it after.
I'll talk about ramping production. I guess, how should we think about, you know, when you might turn Ohio on, when investors might be able to, you know, have boots on the ground and sort of really see the higher tempo production as you move beyond sort of the top, the cadence you laid out in 2027, the cadence you've laid out towards into the end of this year?
I will tell you how this is going to pan out in Texas after the call.
The ramp in Ohio for the components we're manufacturing there has already gotten going, and the team is doing a spectacular job of producing conforming components out of that facility. And we are also ramping at our facilities in San Carlos and in Marina. We expect to continue to ramp each of those facilities in parallel as we increase our manufacturing volume over the quarters to come. So if you're interested in seeing our manufacturing operations, we would love to have you. We think we're doing a really remarkable job, and it's really fun to come see.
Okay, and then just flipping back to Austin, to Andres' question, I believe you talked about, sorry if this came up on the call, but Dubai, you're still anticipating passenger flight there this year, or that's sort of because of the conflict, that's sort of not lower priority, but just that's a lower likelihood event, or has anything changed in that regard?
So our partners there are as leaned in as ever. This is the RTA and the GCA, as well as our infrastructure partners. The first vertiport is done. The second one is close to completion. The third is progressing well. And that is really significant because the degree to which the government there is leaned in on making this new mode of transportation a reality. I was over there about a month ago, and it is, we think that Dubai, the UAE, and the region as a whole is a really remarkable and exciting opportunity, and we can't wait to get back to flying there. As a reminder, we have an aircraft over there, and we're really we can't wait to get going.
Okay, perfect. Thank you and good luck.
Very good set of questions. Interesting answers.
Our next question comes from the line of Kristine Liwag with Morgan Stanley.
This is why I need to stay for the Q&A.
Hey, good morning, everyone, or I guess good afternoon. By the way, it was great to fly Blade at Farnborough last month. Our roughly 15-hour flight certainly beat 15-minute flight, beat the 2-hour drive back to central London. So I guess, pivoting to Blade then, can you provide an update in terms of how you're viewing that business strategically? Specifically, how much of Blade's current operations are focused on retaining and servicing the existing customer base versus potentially expanding that customer base ahead of the Joby eVTOL aircraft certification? And how do you think about balancing that near-term operating discipline versus accelerating Blade as a demand generation platform?
Thanks a lot, Kristine. This is Paul. As you saw from the numbers and as you saw from the guide, we're feeling really good about the existing Blade footprint and really the demand signal that we're getting from those core markets. The principal issue that we've had in terms of scaling it beyond that existing demand is aircraft availability, which is obviously something that we hope to solve with a better, quieter aircraft in relatively short order. Blade has had tons of opportunity to sort of potentially expand its overall footprint, and we're evaluating those on a pretty regular basis. Obviously, some of that work is happening in the eIPP markets that will be Joby launch sites as well, but we're kind of taking each of them in turn and evaluating the core merits about whether or not it makes sense to do or not. But as I said, in terms of the core of the business, we couldn't be more pleased with both the signal that we were getting directly from customers, the operational experience that Rob and the broader team sort of bring, given their work on this for years and years, and finally, the insight on the kinds of journeys, not just airport to airport, but airport to non-airport, that really make this whole thing work.
Great, super helpful. Thank you, Paul.
Terrific, thank you. And thank you to all the analysts who asked questions today. Earlier this week, we invited members of our community to submit questions as well, and I think we have time for at least one of those now. The first question actually is about modernizing ATC. The question is, will Joby have any involvement with ASI's FAA contract to modernize the air traffic control system? Paul?
Yeah, so we started our partnership with ASI earlier this year, and we were very excited that they were selected by the FAA for one important component of the broader ATC modernization, the sort of SMART program. We will be working with ASI in short order to essentially trial their tools in the existing airspace, both with Blade operations and with Joby eVTOL operations. We see it as a very important sandbox with a small number of aircraft and a limited geography to essentially prove out the additional performance that we can wring in terms of flight frequency from sort of key locations. And that's really the role that we're going to play in conjunction with ASI on that effort. But look, more broadly, when you think about the ATC modernization, and there are other pieces of that that are coming, including CAPS, ground infrastructure, all of it is really in service, I think, of allowing us to increase the frequency of both existing and future operations beyond what is possible in existing ATC. So it has very real benefit, revenue benefit, and profitability benefit for Joby over time. And then even more importantly, it's really the stepping stone for fully autonomous commercial operation, which we're progressing well with our Superpilot autonomy stack that we acquired via the X-Wing acquisition. So the ATC modernization is an opportunity to both increase the revenue opportunity of current and future piloted operations, and then over time, really expand the scope and scale of autonomous operations, which are both super exciting for the long-term business.
Great, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll talk to you soon. Operator, please go ahead.
Thank you. And this does conclude today's conference, and you may disconnect your lines at this time. We thank you for your participation.
Wow, what an update. What a call. Wow, what do you think of it? I think it... Hang on, let me just end the stream. I'm still hearing music. Wow, it all starts making sense, doesn't it? It all starts clicking together like a jigsaw puzzle set. I mean... Ooh. Ooh.
At Funtimes tipped $1.99 through Super Chat, Tumbler glass emoji, cool face emoji, poop emoji, cheers Vaz, thanks for staying up. Smash it, thumbs up emoji.
Thank you, Abby, for your special message, and thank you everyone for being here with me. That is the biggest reward. That is the best thing. I can be here with you, and we can all watch this sector grow. I'll tell you what, if you give me 1 sec... No, 1 second, literally. Give me 5 seconds, and I will bring a beer. Because we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about this. I will tell you what it's going to look like in Texas, that deployment. What I think it's going to look like. Not that I have the information, but what I think it's going to look like. We're going to have a look from at few highlights. We're going to pick few highlights from the earnings call. I will tell you what it means. We'll have a look at the stock chart, and then we'll go to the world premiere together. So give me 10 seconds. Countdown is... Hang on. Shall I give you... Hang on. Let's do it very candid, yeah? Let's do it very candid. Let's do... Do I have any fun video? No, I don't. Let's just do it very candid. Bear with me. Let's do... Oh, tell you what. I'm going to do this. You can watch the interview from the from the special angle. 10 seconds. And I have overshot by 2 seconds. I do apologize. I'm a bit late. 2 seconds late. Right, I've got Czech beer. I cannot show the brand, but those who are Czech, you know what that is. It's a Prague beer. So let's just do this because I'm very happy with the delivery today. So let's listen to this. Cheers, Abby. Cheers, everyone. I hope you liked tonight's delivery. I hope you are in Joby because it won't be long, as you can hear, until we can see some good price action. So, Texas. What I thought we could see would have been Blade Air Mobility deployed in Texas with the first passengers. And I still think Joby could be very clever with their wording. Joby could be very clever with sort of laying this out. You know, all these earnings and milestones. It can be either you full on deliver, you just ram through it, or it could be like little clever ways around it. So when they said first passengers, it's not going to be in September. I don't think. If we can see somebody from Joby, like a test pilot sitting behind the actual pilot, so there'll be 2 pilots on board or an engineer on board, that could take the box. And you have 1 passenger, because you literally will have 1 passenger. And I would like to know, and I will start digging into it, whether Joby have already flown some extra payload on their aircraft or not, or whether it's just the pilot. Because if you look at the pilot, we are talking 80 to 90 kilos. What is it? 200, 220, not stone, pounds. Obviously, if you put another person, you are doubling your load. So that'll be my little task. I will find out if they have been flying any extra payload on their aircraft. What I can see, two ways. If they want to tick this box and fly a passenger by the end of September, which I don't think this is the case. I think it's just a very smart wording. I think we have the September flights all week. I have no doubt there will be at least one flight a day, obviously weather permitting, but there will be at least one flight a day, same as it was in New York. Beyond that, I can see the passenger on board, and it's not going to be full aircraft. It will be literally one passenger, whether an engineer, whether a test pilot additional, but it's very likely. If they want to tick the box by the end of September, it's very challenging, and they need to do it very, very soon on that test ground. So, again, we have about 6-8 weeks before we see them flying in Texas. They'll be flying in Texas, whether with a passenger on board or not. We got a hint that Texas will possibly be the first region where you will see passenger on board later, possibly later in the year. So that is quite exciting. And they will also be the first pure eVTOL aircraft with a passenger on board, because Archer haven't done it. They've got only instruments in the back. They've got two piloted aircraft, but it's got only one pilot seat and the back is full of instruments. Vertical Aerospace, again, they have two piloted prototypes. Again, only pilot seat and then instruments in the back. Beta Technologies have done passengers, but on their CTOL aircraft. So, Joby, I have no doubt they'll be first. Archer, there's no way Archer would refit their aircraft in a couple of months, their test flight prototype. Yeah, I think Archer are pretty much ruled out. I'm not ruling out that Archer wouldn't fly a passenger on board on a new aircraft, because we know they have about half a dozen in the production line in various stages of assembly. But that will be probably end of the year, because first you need to complete your transition, get the data from the transition, get back to not to the drawing board, but get back to the computer, do your further analysis of the data, do more calculations, more maths, and then when you are comfortable with the data, you can start producing or completing the aircraft you have on your production line. Vertical Aerospace, they will not be flying any passengers. They'll be flying extra payload through their hybrid propulsion unit. But again, Joby will be first. I have no doubt. If they set this as a milestone, if they set this as a goal by the end of the year, they will be first, because they have the best setup for it. And that will be, again, massive milestone, because they'll be the first eVTOL with a passenger on board. They'll be finally proving we can fly a person on board, extra person, because now it's been only a pilot. So that's great. What is good, that we are not staying behind with the UAE, with Dubai. That's very good as well. And obviously, the two aircraft, that was quite interesting question, whether we will see some revenue or not. Possibly not. But if one of these aircraft is going to Dubai, that will be hinting that we could see operations sooner rather than later. Whether it's a pilot operation, initial flights, or whether it's a full-scale operation, we don't know. But it's not dismissed. It's open that we could see the aircraft in there. And obviously, Blade Air Mobility, that's quite interesting, because they said they have been considering upgrading their capacity. But, I mean, if you look at buying a new helicopter, you are looking at, well, probably $15 million for the helicopters they have been flying. Maybe 10. I mean, it's still a lot. It's still a lot. So Joby are now looking into, shall we buy more helicopters so we can serve more passengers for short term and mid term with much longer payback, or shall we wait for the eIPP? Shall we wait for our certification when we can deploy our actual aircraft? It will be much cheaper. We don't have to pay margin on it because obviously it's Blade is their subsidiary, so they will not be charging the margin, or if it just swings about with the accounts. So Joby have quite interesting question. Shall we buy more helicopters and satisfy the short-term and mid-term demand, or shall we just bite our tongue and wait for our aircraft to be deployed? That is a very, very interesting. That was a very interesting answer. Along with that, I think it was all there in plain sight. Infrastructure within the United States will be growing. 5 regions across the United States. Big focus on Texas. And I've been saying that Texas will be the hotspot of the initial operations. It's not going to be New York. It's not going to be Florida. It will be Texas. Archer will be locked on Texas as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear this from Adam Goldstein on Monday. Let's quickly go through chat if you have any questions, and then I will send you to the world exclusive interview. And before that, we'll have a look at the stock chart as well. But it's pretty much, it's plain to see there. Right. Oh, we've got here. Right. We are running a poll, which is closed now. Okay. Thank you. Whoever done it. Joby second. Oh, no. Where's the poll? Oh, I haven't closed it. Okay. We are running a poll. Joby Aviation listening to the numbers and updates. Buy, hold, sell, undecided. Let's end the poll in 3, 2, 1. Boom. 54% sees Joby as a buy. And I only second that. Don't get me wrong. We can see a sell-off. We can see 20% downside. We can touch back the $6.60 level we had a few days back. But it's brewing. It's brewing there. So, any questions? Timothy, very nice setup. Do you like my PP? Thank you, Timothy. I see you are here quite often. Do you want to become a member? Because there'll be some behind the scenes, well, not behind the scenes, but exclusive access to the Farnborough content as well. So if you wanna consider it, it's only a few bucks. And you get access not only to me but to Martyn and Sensei as well. So it's worth it. Starlight Matrix, I saw all your messages. Thank you for that. Board 25 right before the dip at 779. Nice one, Brandon. I don't see you on my shows often. Thank you for joining. Subwoofer, are you expecting a pump when they start talking? No, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go up tomorrow. Also, tomorrow we can sell off. We have SpaceX. Don't forget about it. We have SpaceX going pretty much public, like full-on public, like the last few steps of becoming public. So that can shake up the markets. Zach, if you are visiting the Bay Area, let me know. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Noted. Trickseek, Vaz, and I forgot about to ask you about the Archer giveaway you said. Oh yeah, some days before. I would love to play for it. Well, join me on Monday. First, join me on Saturday, and then join me on Monday on the earnings call. You will find out. Look, it's simple, and everyone can be a winner. It's simple as that. You'll be blown away. Actually, you know what? I will show you what I've got from Archer. You know that, you know what I've done? I've put Archer merch in Joby's bag. Unintentionally. But yeah, I don't think, please, if somebody from Archer is watching, I didn't mean it, yeah? There's no subtle message. You know Archer and their new aircraft, yeah? Obviously, together with Anduril, they developed the Attacker sort of hybrid helicopter VTOL aircraft. So it's called the Thunder. And then they have the civil version, which is purely Archer's product. And I've got these t-shirts with the aircraft name, Halo. So that is Archer, and it wouldn't be Archer without all these nice, subtle little details, yeah? Has the back, unlock the skies, that's the sleeve, Farnborough 2026. So, yeah, how about this for a giveaway? Trickseek, huh? We have anything on the other? No. Yeah, so let's put it back in the Joby bag. Let's put it back in the Joby bag. And there might be even more. So, just saying what's happening, what's coming. Join me on Monday, definitely. It'll be easy. The rules will be everyone can win. Right, smash the like button, Abby. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat as well. Potato family, yes, making money on flying taxis. Vaz is awesome. Thank you. I think I missed your... Did I miss your super chat or not? Doesn't matter. Thank you. A few more minutes, we'll go to the interview. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. I mean, you've been with me for 2 hours now. You don't want to miss it. You can still like hang on for a few minutes, yeah? Starlight, thank you for your messages as well. Trickseek, oh my god, I would love to finally see full transition midnight. Yeah, it won't be long. In my opinion, it won't be long. Zach, I would love to fly from Fort Worth to Dallas with Joby. Yes, well, you heard it. You heard it. Landing on the Galleria Mall. Liz, long-term bullish, says Nick Jones. Yes. Geesh, I bought at 785. I mean, it makes no difference. Look, if you are buying for long-term, it even doesn't make a difference. If you are buying for like 2027, when the operations will be like wider scale. If you are buying for 2028, year 2028, when the operations across the United States will be full blown, makes no difference whether you buy for 660 or 770 or 785. I'll be at completely different levels, mate. But yeah, thank you for your messages. I love it. I'm in Kissimmee now on vacation. Yes, Stephen, vacation again. I love it. Mike Schultz, what company are building the vertiports? Atoms. Look it up. Nick Jones, Mike, Skyports infrastructure. Yeah, there's multiple companies building them. Why are there zero investments in vertiport? Are talking about like 3-4 years ahead. Again, we got a bit of an answer from Joe Ben. It's very complex. It's a very complex topic. We will not see new vertiports at first. We will see the existing sites being transformed and adapted for the eVTOL aircraft. Excuse me. eVTOL infrastructure. So new vertiports, that could be a couple of years, yes. Abby, Joby starting to creep up. Yeah, we had nice top up at 788. Mascello is here as well. Starlight, yes, collectors, you liked my collection. I love it. Thank you for your messages. I saw them. Whoop. Bear with me, a few more minutes. Good investment, yes. Lucky a Joby patch, yes. Got it. Yes. Beatles. Joby are winning the eVTOL race, says DJ Hayes. Pretty much, it looks like, doesn't it? Well, let's wait for Archer, because they have completely different strategy now. Let's wait what we can see from Archer. Cheers, Vaz. Thanks for staying up. Well, cheers, RB. All right, do we have any questions? Cheers, Vaz. I'm drinking tea, says DJ Hayes. In the States, when you open that can, it would have been... Okay, fair enough. Well, we might find out next month. You never know. You never know. There might be something happening. Sure are hoping for lift off soon. Toyota is the key. Yes, definitely. Good answer as well. Confirming. I should see the second tranche by the end of this year. Great. Martyn can be that passenger. Yes. I would love it. This is fantastic content. For the first time where I've seen such a breakdown delivered so well. Vaz, you are brilliant, says Mike Schulze. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. And Abby says, agreed, Vaz knows his poop. Thank you as well, Abby. I don't use Discord, but I will consider it. Yeah, you can be a member on here on YouTube. Definitely, it's literally a few bucks, and I think the reward is worth it. SPCX, typical of IPO. Well, let's have a look at SPCX. We don't have any questions, so let's have a look at Joby chart, sitting at 783. Me personally, if SpaceX is not going to make a lot of mess tomorrow, I can see 10% easily. So from here, 10% is what, 860, 850. If I want to trade it, I would be looking out for these levels. I don't think, well, we could if we have very good market tomorrow morning. I think we can see $9, but I think we won't go beyond that tomorrow. If SpaceX crashes the market like badly, again, that's another 10% towards the downside, so $7. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's, yeah, I think it's simple as that. Right, SPCX. Let's have a look at live action SPCX. 109.20. Closing bell price at SPCX was, where are we? 108 something. So we had a slight dip, but it's been creeping up. Interesting. Right, let me set up the premiere. I will send you off to the premiere. Right, let's edit this. Hang on. Save. Right, let's move it to 20 minutes past. So you'll have to hang tight with me for another 2-3 minutes. That is saved. 5th of August. Yeah, I struggle with that. I always put it on the following day. Save. Now, if you go to YouTube, go to Martyn Lucas Investor. I'm live here. Clock is ticking. By the way, the clock is still ticking for the eIPP and for the deployment, but we got some good answers. Where is the premiere? There we go. Upcoming. Inside Joby. How about that? Inside Joby premieres in 3 minutes. So bear with me. Don't go anywhere. I will send you there automatically. You can hit the like button. What you can do, if you really want to help, hype it. We have over 60 people. We have 70 people watching. If everyone goes there, you drop a like, hype it, and drop a comment, that video is going to blow up. And you don't even have to watch it. I mean, if you are there, you can watch it. But if you really want to help and support me from what I've done and what I'm bringing you, and if you enjoyed tonight's content, by the way, SpaceX is going up slightly. If you enjoyed tonight's content and you want to reward me, just go there, like it, hype it. As soon as you like it, you will have a little hype button with a rainbow. Click that and then drop a comment. I'll be approving comments live as we watch it. So I know comments need to be approved because we've got loads of spam, but comment underneath as well. I will reply to every single comment in the next 30 minutes until I have finished my beer. And let's just celebrate. Let's just celebrate because we have some good news. It will carry on Monday with Archer Aviation. I'm expecting good earnings next Thursday from Vertical Aerospace as well. And the whole eVTOL sector will just be nicely lined up on the starting line in the blocks just for the nice start shot. Right, I have had enough. I've had enough. We are 2 minutes away. Thank you very much for joining me again. We have the countdown is starting in 60 seconds for the premiere. So I will send you there. I can see people are already coming in. I love it. I'll be in the chat talking to you. I hope you will enjoy this interview. This is first out of many. I've got 4 more interviews. This is not the full interview, by the way. So there'll be part 2, part 3, part 4. I've got 4 more companies. I've got Eve Air Mobility. I've got Horizon Aircraft, Vertical Aerospace, and Archer Aviation as well. So I have all 5. And I've got some conferences, I've got panels, I've got more. I've got more, and more. So this is first of many. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I hope you will enjoy it as well. That's it from me. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, the only way is up.